the moment everything broke. There are moments in public scandals when one sentence changes everything. Not a leaked document, not a secret recording. Just one sentence, spoken at the wrong time, in the wrong tone with the wrong intentions. And this was one of those moments. Because when Erika Kirk sat across from a national audience and said that the first thing she prayed for after her husband was murdered was that she might be pregnant, something didn't sit right. Not grief. Not shock. Not justice. Pregnancy. That single confession cracked open a story that has since spiraled into accusations, timelines that don't add up, whispered power plays, and a political figure who refuses to speak while two women absorb the fallout. What started as sympathy has turned into suspicion. What began as mourning has transformed into performance. And now the question everyone is asking is no longer, who is telling the truth? Who is manipulating the narrative, and why? When tragedy strikes, people expect grief to follow a familiar pattern. Shock, anger, mourning, a demand for justice, a plea for strength. But Erika's response shattered that expectation. She didn't speak first about accountability. She didn't talk about fear for her children. She didn't even focus on the horror of watching her husband be killed in public. Instead, she said she prayed to be pregnant. To many viewers, that moment felt deeply unsettling, not because grief has rules, but because grief usually centers the living, not hypothetical futures. The internet froze the clip, replayed it, dissected it, and slowly a realization crept in. This wasn't just an emotional confession, it was a setup. Because soon after, whispers began circulating that Erika was allegedly 8 weeks pregnant. And that's when the math collapsed. Her husband had been dead for 10 weeks. Suddenly, grief wasn't the story anymore. Timing was. In scandals, timelines don't lie, even when people do. If the pregnancy rumors were true, they didn't align with reality, and people noticed immediately. Social media did what it always does. It investigated. Dates were pulled, interviews rewatched, appearances scrutinized. And soon, the jokes began. Not because the situation was funny, but because it felt absurd. People accused Erika of trying to soft launch a miracle conception. Others openly suggested she was attempting to anchor herself to a powerful man by forcing a public narrative before facts could catch up. And while Erika never directly confirmed the pregnancy, she never denied it either. That silence spoke volumes. Because in modern media, ambiguity isn't accidental. It's strategic. Before pregnancy rumors exploded, there was another moment that planted doubt. The hug. A widely circulated clip showed Erika and JD sharing an embrace that felt practiced. Too familiar, too fluid, too comfortable for two people allegedly bonded only by tragedy. Body language experts weighed in. Viewers slowed the footage frame by frame. Hands lingered, bodies leaned. The connection didn't read as consoling, it read as intimate. And what made it worse? His wife was in the audience. When questioned later, Erika didn't distance herself from the moment. She leaned into it, literally and figuratively, brushing it off as her being an emotional hugger, even joking about where her hands landed. That explanation didn't calm suspicions. It fueled them. Soon after, Erika's visibility skyrocketed. She appeared everywhere JD was mentioned. She spoke on his future. She aligned herself with his political ambitions. Then came the boldest move of all, positioning herself and her organization as a driving force behind his rumored presidential run. This wasn't quiet support. This was ownership. And that's when people realized something critical. This wasn't grief spilling over. This was strategy. Because you don't risk public ridicule, professional credibility, and national backlash unless you believe there's something waiting on the other side. Something or someone. After weeks of defending him, aligning with him, and publicly signaling loyalty, Erika expected reciprocity. She expected acknowledgement, She expected protection. She expected him to step forward. He didn't. Instead, he vanished into silence. No defense. No confirmation. No denial. And that silence hit harder than rejection. According to insiders, Erika's frustration turned into desperation. Allegedly, she demanded a paternity test, not to prove the truth, but to force a response. That's when the narrative turned darker. While Erika spiraled publicly, the real damage was happening behind closed doors. JD's marriage began to fracture under scrutiny. Public appearances grew colder. Physical distance became noticeable. His wife stopped wearing her wedding ring. At first, it was explained away as domestic routine. Then it happened again. And again. Finally, the message was unmistakable. This wasn't oversight. It was warning. Sources claim she issued an ultimatum. Either end the rumors publicly or choose another path entirely. And for the first time, Erika wasn't the only woman refusing to stay silent. Just as pressure mounted, a new claim surfaced that JD's wife had threatened Erika and attempted to silence her. It was explosive. It painted Erika as a victim. It framed the wife as a villain. And it aimed to force JD's hand. But insiders now say it never happened. No threat. No intimidation. No attempt at silencing. Just another narrative, released at the moment of maximum tension. And that's when public sympathy collapsed. Observers began to notice a pattern. The tears arrived on cue. The claims escalated when attention faded. The silence followed when facts were requested. What people were watching no longer resembled authentic grief. It looked rehearsed, calculated, uncanny. And in that moment, Erika found herself alone, without proof, without confirmation, without the man she fought so publicly for. Now the dust hasn't settled, but the roles are clear. JD remains silent. His wife stands firm. And Erika continues to spiral in plain view. No pregnancy confirmation. No paternity test. No evidence of threats. Just a trail of contradictions and a reputation unraveling in real time. And the most dangerous part, when someone builds a story this big without an exit plan, the collapse doesn't come quietly. It comes suddenly. So the question now is whether this scandal ends. It's how far someone will go when they realize they've already lost. And judging by the trajectory so far, this story may not be finished yet.